MLK's assassination was only a year and some months before the Stonewall riots. These movements are interconnected.
Answering bombs and fire with love. Answering violence with standing together. Bayard Rustin.
There are three ways to deal with injustice. One is to accept it slavishly, or one can resist it with arms, or one can use nonviolence. The significance of nonviolence is that finally one depends upon his body and his spirit. He puts that into breach when everything else fails.
Right after George Floyd passed, I wrote an article asserting the notion that my Blackness was more prominent than my queerness, because as I walk out into communities, as I walk out into the public, people see my race before they see my identity, they see my sexuality. But the reality is, I cannot separate the two. As I've grown in this work, as I've grown in how I see myself, I can't separate my Blackness or my queerness. It is the Black queerness that actually makes me and designs how I see things. It designs my perspective. It designs the way my mind is so expansive. And so I think it's really important in a space where marginalized communities are often grouped together and homogenized in a way that says, like, we're all the same. No, our experiences and our intersections actually make us really different. They're a lot more alike than different, but there are some different nuances that are really important at that intersection. And so I couldn't see myself going forward in my work separating my race from my identity and my sexuality.
Before I knew who I really was, I learned about Stonewall, the riots. I believe that was the very first representation to stand in who I am authentically.
Stonewall matters to me because it was a moment where people were living their lives, got fed up with abuse, fed up with ridicule, and fed up with being treated as they don't have a place. So for me, it means that when you've had enough, it's okay to step up. It's okay to be united. Black, queer, gay, lesbian, heterosexual, the communities and the gambit came together to make a change and make a difference.
Stonewall, to me, represents the start of liberation. It represents literally a brick being thrown towards oppression, towards stigma. Stonewall represents the people that are at the very margins, Black and brown trans people, gender expansive people, butch lesbian women, really standing up against systemic violence and oppression and saying, we're not going to take that anymore.
Stonewall is why I am a Black, queer woman that is a pastor of a German church in Houston. It is the reason why I get to stand Sunday after Sunday. It is the reason why I am able to be free in my marriage to my wife. It is the reason why I am able to be authentic in the work that I do at the Normal Anomaly. And I can speak for Black and brown women as a whole, as a unit. Stonewall is the bridge to where I need to go over where I need to go, who I need to be. It is the reason I am all that I am today.
Y'all ready? Now let me tell y'all something. This record right here was a new birth for me. Don't ever allow yourself to tell yourself you're not good enough. As you turn down, as you turn I'm going down.
Music and overall storytelling has been integral to movement building for centuries, from griots to rap.
Credit for
easy credit, but also fun, because this is the music that I listen to, and not recognize the fact that when I say toasting the DJ in that tradition, in the live components of the 1970s, it has a history that goes back to storytelling in African American 1800s, maybe even 1700s tradition of celebrating an outlaw type figure, a person who's bold enough to stand up against anyone. And it's like, okay, and that kind of follows through even and reversioning itself in gangsta rappers or hardcore rappers, personas and narratives.
So for me, I think people separate politics and policy from like community and organizing and even just what we think about community. And for me, I think of it through an intersectional lens and through intersectionality. When I think about the communities that I intersect with, it's not just, the trans community. It's not just the communities in which I work with and that I'm often intersected with, but it's also elected officials. It's also candidates. For me, I like to believe that I help to kind of create that bridge that makes politics and policy more accessible to communities.
To ban something so serious, that's serious to me because that's culture. That helped define who I am. Drag is in me. Now, I didn't never start wearing the hair and the different costumes, but that is an art, and that is something that's respected, and it really helps guide people, LGBT, straight. Everybody can get something out of drag, and for them to try to ban it, I don't know. I don't understand it, and I don't agree with it.
I just think, mind your damn business. Like, America's so goddamn ghetto. Like, we got so much other shit to worry about, and you worry about this. Like, shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna bring the boring political answer to this shit.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, they passed the law just to be hateful, period. They passed the law so they can signal to their hateful friends that they more hateful than the next person.
And just like our ancestors, we continue this work against all odds.
Some are losing a day's pay to come. Some are risking their jobs. Some have been told, better not go if you know what's good for you. But we're here. We're coming. Want to be part of this great day.
If anybody knows me, they know that one of the things that's probably the highest honor, the most prestigious thing that I could have tried to accomplish for myself would have been Grand Marshal. And they always say that when it's your time, and it doesn't always feel like it. But the powerful thing is, I really wanted to be Grand Marshal, but I get to be Grand Marshal with all of y'all. So I'm so happy for that.
I do this work for my stepdad, Eugene Hill, Gene or Gino. He passed away in the summer of 2017. And I believe one of the last conversations he said to me was, that he was proud of me.
I am doing this work for my mother, Joyce Laws Washington.
I do this work for the people who were left out of the history books and out of the stories, because there are a lot of people who do the work behind the curtains, and they deserve to be recognized. Even if I may not know their name, I know that because of them I am here. And so I do the work for those people.
I wrote down a couple names because I think that honoring our ancestors is important. This is for Dr. Charles Law. This is for Bayard Rustin and Barbara Jordan. This is for Donald R. Watkins. This is for Cookie LeCook. This is for Amazing Grace. This is for Essex Hill and Marlon Riggs, right? These are for all of the Black and queer identities that, whether they were because they were Black or because they were queer, they were not celebrated during their life, and they had to wait till they were dead to be uplifted. We are them. Thank y'all.
Brother to brother, brother to brother, brother to brother.
Essex Hemphill was born in Chicago and grew up in Southeast Washington, D.C. A poet and performer known for his political edge, he openly addressed race, identity, sexuality, HIV/AIDS, and the family in his work, voicing issues central to the African-American gay community.
So my intersections are: I am a person living with HIV, I am Black, I am queer, I am sexually fluid, I'm a cisgender man. I think allyship is important because honestly, I feel like it should be easy if you just cared about people. Just genuinely caring about a person, to me, is how allyship starts. It shouldn't be that complicated. Human rights is human rights. You should just care about another person. And it's important to me because as a person who lives with HIV, I think that people think that HIV has a look, but it doesn't. But we have a voice. And if you don't know that I'm living with HIV, you should still treat me as such, even though you now know that I'm living with HIV.
When I think about not just the work, not just the movement and the organizational work and the community work, when I think about community building, even when I think about relationship building, I think about allyship. For me, I think that allyship is and should be mutually beneficial, and it should be bi-directional. I think that oftentimes when we are taught or shown allyship, it is usually one way. It is usually a marginalized group benefiting from the support of a group that has a little more privilege and power and influence. But I actually think that it's bi-directional. I think it's mutually beneficial. I think that true allyship should benefit everyone. I think that is true allyship. I think it's the most effective allyship. I think that allyship is kind of the base level, but I really think that when it's done right, people move from allies to accomplices. But I believe that allyship is something that is mutually beneficial. I think that it's something that shouldn't only benefit one person or one group. It should be done for the benefit of everyone.
We're back at doing interviews for taking a little break, but I'm just helped out with the audio a little bit, but I'm back in front of the mic, and we're going to talk about a very interesting documentary called Outcry. And I have the executive producer with me, Ian Haddock, and two people that's starring in it, Titan Capri and Andre Whiting.
That being said, I was arrested to a theory and a thinking that had put me in a place of suppression. You walk by people, you hear it in the back of your mind that they believe this about you. They say things about you that's not true. You are a whore before you even have a chance to get saved. You are sleeping with everybody. People, you walk by men, they think that you're looking at them, and they have the slightest idea that they don't even qualify for your appetite.
And Mr. Whiting, as the lone straight man in the room, and I believe in the documentary, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you find yourself being a part of this? What are you a part of with this documentary?
So, finding myself being the only heterosexual male inside of the documentary, I didn't find myself feeling any type of way, because Ian is my best friend, and he's been my best friend since knee high to the tree high.
Right.
So that was the first person that that I actually started my Christian walk with.
You know, I often joke about being a church queen, but the reality is, I believe that this work is ministry. Um, I feel I am called to do this work for the people that I work with and I serve. Faith is central to that. You know, I started in the church. I went to church like I go to work today, 4 or 5 days out the week. And I really believe in the life of Christ versus the current state of Christianity right now. I believe in, you know, building with people. I believe in being around people, being in community with people who are not just different, but are searching for answers, are searching for newness, are searching for saviorship. And what I found out as I have been in community as a church queen is that community is the savior. We have all the answers, we have all of the ability, and oftentimes you just need belief, hope, and faith to actualize those things.
My first thought meeting Ian. So it's interesting because I met Ian when we were recording the video PSA for TAC or Trans Ally Collective. And I actually don't even remember how we got connected or how I was referred, but literally the first time I met Ian was Ian coming to my house to film and record. I don't have house guests ever. And so literally the first time I met Ian was him coming to record the video PSA.
Like it is important and it's imperative that I don't think you know, and I mean, we talk about it, but I don't think that you know enough. We don't talk about it enough how essential your allyship was to me and just how essential it was for you to be a part of my own experience and my journey in the beginning, because you literally have been a part from the beginning.
So we would show up in spaces and places and show up as an ally for our trans sisters. What we didn't know was that the way that we were showing up was not 100% effective or protective of our trans sisters.
We are in the middle of a multiplicity of crises where we are fighting against the pandemic of COVID, fighting against the injustice of being Black, while in 1 month, 7 trans women were killed.
From music to art, media, storytelling, services, advocacy, research, capacity building, I think that we are changing the world. And not just the normal anomaly, but anybody that is advocating or pushing or reducing the barriers, I should say, of marginalized identities.
My favorite part of my work is honestly connecting with different people, getting to learn them, getting to hear them, and getting to see how their inner worth gets to show up in spaces.
They pour into
to your business. You need to be able to do that, because if you're going to be talking to any of the individuals at the actual festival about your business and how you plan to impact social change, this is practice for you.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much for being here, the work you are doing, for all the work that you are doing. Can you tell me, first of all, you're such a light, and I can feel it, it's amazing what you're doing. Can you tell me why you are so passionate?
Everything that I have in my vision may not be actualized in my lifetime, but there are so many ancestors before us. There are so many people who have strived before us, and they left these, mandates that we ascribe to. And so I am convicted, confirmed, and convinced that if we just try, if we just continue to move, that what I don't see in this lifetime, we will create a movement of people who will change the world with us.
Black like that. When I think about Black like that, I think about joy. I think about not just Black joy, but Black queer joy, Black queer and trans joy, Black trans femme joy.
When the Norma Anomaly started, I remember as a blogger reaching out to all different types of people.
Things that I've said, and they came from a real place. Like Ian, I remember doing the interview with you, so I was like, hey Ian, I remember when you first were starting your thing, and I said, yes. And
reached out to this one person, and I could not believe that she herself responded, and it was T.S. Madison. And I am just amazed, not just that she was the first major interview for the Norma Anomaly, but I'm also amazed at her growth. She is what she calls, and I love to say, the ubiquitous queen.
I think it's multifaceted, because to me it means expanded versions of Blackness. It means that my Black like this and your Black like that is the standard. It is the period.
When we moved into our last space, we were in Third Ward. And a lot of that was because I wanted the energy of Beyonce. I wanted to go to Parkwood and just walk up and down the hills. I wanted to see those things because somebody from my town has created a legacy that is so rich and so powerful. And so when I heard them collab on Cozy, and I heard T.S. Madison's famous rant, where she was talking about what Black looks like, brown, beige, and all the things. And she said, Black like that. When our Community Advisory Council came up with that term, Black like that, I knew that was the change we needed to make for our festival, because we are just that. We are Black like that.
Black like that. Oh my goodness. Listen, Black like that. Look, Black like that means everything before being a woman, being queer. Black like that is literally an expression of who I am, right? The way that I speak, the way that I move, the way that I feel, the joy that I express, the liberation that I am seeking and I have sought. Black like that is literally the culture of what we represent at the Norma Anomaly. It is who we are and it's who we serve, right? Black like that is not just a statement, it is literally an affirmation. It is how we wake up in the morning, we Black like that. It's how we go throughout our day, Black like that. It's how we end our day. It's how we do our work. It's how we party. We Black like that. It is our culture.
So I have a personal connection to Splash. On my prom night, it was the first place I got to go after prom, and I couldn't get in to the party, but I sat outside and I saw this sea of Black queer people, and it was the first time that I felt seen, that there was a world outside of the one I was living in Texas City. And I felt like a space to be me, even though I couldn't actually go in the party. And so when we started the BQAF Music Festival, we wanted to do it during Splash to honor the power and beauty of Splash. We wanted to increase attendance back to Splash. Splash was one of the biggest parties in the United States, particularly in the South, for decades. And so we wanted to create a way to engage that population. Over time, what has happened is it has seemed as if we are in competition with the reason why we created such a momentous occasion. And so this move is one to celebrate Splash. We want to celebrate Splash. We think it is an incredible space. So we are super excited this year to celebrate our festival, renamed Black Like That, on June 27, 2026. More information to come. This will give us the space to celebrate the Pride Parade, to celebrate our music festival during Pride, and also for the community and for us to celebrate Splash in May.
The people in the back row, the people in the hoods, the people at the clinics, and the people all over the world, Black, brown, and indifferent.
I do this because I am the perfect example of what it means to be a survivor.